That's music in general right now, bro. But what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of the Rex Radio. I am one of your hosts, CEO Hayes, and I am. We don't have the whole team tonight. It's just me and the red wine connoisseur himself, Marquise, in the building. What's going on, bro?
Well, nothing much there. It's great to be here, like always. Skeleton
Absolutely.
crew.
We got some shit. Like it's the breaks teams. It's been a fucking hellacious fucking month, to be honest with you. The month of October has just been a bitch. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
it's been a motherfucker. But nonetheless, we're
It
here
is.
to deliver our unique brand of content. And so first up, we got this little Boosie, little Nas X thing. Now it's been a little minute since the actual tweet happened, so everything's kind of calmed down. My thing that I want to ask you, bro, is like, so yeah, Boosie has turned into a meme. He's turned into everything, and I'm sure that that's gotten in his head some, bro. But at what point in time? Because while we have talked about on this podcast that nobody ever really gets canceled, especially if you don't give a fuck, the one community that you can't come too hard at is the LGBTQ community, and you know, and that's, I don't say that to make it lightly, because you know they are attacked very often. So like I think when even it's a little something that, and this wasn't a little something, but they protect their own very hard and they come down. Like what how much longer do you think it's going to be before somebody finally pulls the, like, I'm surprised Twitter didn't pull down his Twitter page after that tweet went out. What about you? What do you think?
I think the problem we have is you're right. The one community you can't mess with is the LGBTQT, and this is why Dave Chappelle is under so much fire. Now, the problem with that is Dave Chappelle is a little bit more crafty in his responses
Mm-hmm.
and his delivery. It's not more insulting, or it is if you are, when you're insulted, if you are a trans, and it seems like a lot of his jokes are directed to that, but he's basically saying, we go through this shit too. Like, Lil Baby can shoot a nigga, kill a nigga, get away with it, but he say something gay and he's canceled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Lil Boosie, I don't know. I don't know what sparked this, but he's a bully. At this point, like, you could have kept your mouth closed. There's no reason. Unless you have insecurities yourself, unless you want to become relevant or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
there was no point. We don't know what transpired prior to that, but at some point, you're a cyberbully, and you're just a straight up bully, and you want attention or something like that. But you can't just come around like throwing shit at somebody like that. No matter what the situation is, it's kind of fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And
And the Dave Chappelle shit, like comedians, the thing with me is that when you have a comedian who literally will joke about anybody, whether it's racist, black people, white people, LGBTQ, whatever, you, like, to me, that's just treating like everybody else. Like, comedians make jokes, but I'm not gonna get into that, right? This little Boosie thing, like, yeah, it's definitely something going on here to where he is so highly triggered by it, where he feels like when he inserts himself in the conversations, he just shut the fuck up. Like, literally, just shut. Nobody was thinking about you. Asked your opinion. This shit isn't affecting you. Why the fuck are you commenting on it? Like, and it's like, yeah, you trying to bully Lil Nas X, and we, if nothing else, his savvy on social media. You can't bully somebody like Lil Nas X on social media. And by that I
he
don't mean
built his whole
because
career.
he identifies as gay. I mean just because the motherfucker is a professional troll and will tell you he's going to troll your ass. So like, leave that
You're
man
not gonna
alone.
win this fight.
Yeah, at
Yeah,
all, at all.
I don't. I don't know, man. Again, it felt like he either wanted to just get attention or jump into something and just say, you know what? Oh, remember me? I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
here. Or like you said, maybe he was triggered because it touched him in a little spot.
Boosie's battling with something, and I'm gonna leave that at that. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave that at that. Moving
Boosie
on.
badass.
Hit Boy was asked or made a comment about, you know, how he doesn't like to do things inside of a box, and he mentioned at the end of that, ask Kendrick Lamar and tagged Kendrick Lamar. Now we know that Hit Boy's worked with Kendrick Lamar in the past on Good Kid, Mad City. I'm not sure if he's worked with him on any of his other albums. I have to go back and look. But what do you think? Hit Boy is really right now, I would say he's
Say it.
maybe the best producer in hip hop right now.
I'm probably gonna say he's the best producer of this decade.
Mm,
And again, think about this. When have you heard? When have you not heard something of his pop off? You know what I mean? Like
that's true.
everything he's touched so far is gold. Masterful what he did with Nas. He's done some other stuff and everything like that, but I don't say he resurrected Nas' career, but he made Nas relevant to this generation.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? No one else did this. Everyone's complaint about Nas was his production. He's crafty with his beats. Even when he switch up his beats, he's done it with Kendrick. And if he's done something with Kendrick right now, and it's going to put him in a whole new stratosphere, he's going to be the most wanted producer for the next 2 to 3 years.
So now you said that he's Hit Boy has more mainstream success than this producer. But for my money, right? My money, the best producer right now is Apollo Brown. And nobody's going to agree with that because people don't really listen to Apollo Brown. But the albums that he did with, who did he have the couple of albums with?
I know. What's her name? Oh my God.
I'm just at a loss for words right
I know
now.
it's right there on my tongue.
He did the joint with Joel Ortiz, which was amazing. He did a joint with Skyzo that was amazing. But there's another one. There's a female rapper. You're right. That he did Shay Noir. The album he did with Shay Noir was fucking bananas. And Apollo Brown for me, pound for pound, is for my taste in music, is the best producer in hip hop right now.
So I'll say this. I won't say he isn't because of the diversity, right?
Mm-hmm.
The way all of those albums are crafted, you wouldn't know it's the same producer. You would because it has that signature sound, but to mesh all those artists, 100%. But he has nothing to lose. You know what I mean?
True.
When you deal with somebody like Nas, that's your career on the line. You know what I mean? Like, you fuck this up, then you know what I mean? Not taken away from shit. Look, Apollo, I get it. Sonically, yes. He has a much more well-rounded sound than Hit Boy does, honestly. But Hit Boy just has bangers for days. That's the difference.
Yeah.
So, now, speaking on that, imagine Apollo Brown doing something with Kendrick.
Who? Honestly, I would love to see Apollo Brown get in with the Griselda boys because I think that would be fucking big. Could you imagine Benny on a fucking Apollo Brown track? That shit would be bananas, man.
So I finally listened to what's his name? West Side Gunner's album, and I saw what you meant. Now, it's crazy because they have that '90s, 2000 laid back kind of almost soulful gangster. So you can see that. Griselda is a very interesting group to me. Like, you can tell they have nothing to lose. They're that underground. They're just underground enough where they don't have to kind of cross anything, but people still respect them. Even the OGs respect them. They got Wu-Tang to sign off on them, Eminem to sign off on them. Like you, even though they're not working together anymore, but they got the respect. So if Apollo Brown ever did a project with them motherfuckers, that's a whole nother level for me.
And that's what the thing, like, as much as Griselda has their unique sound, right, and their gritty style, the thing that has kept them from crossing over mainstream, I don't even think is them necessarily needing to make, like, radio tracks or anything. If we're going to make this comparison or even mention Wu-Tang in this conversation, they don't have a RZA. They don't have somebody with the vision. It's like Griselda is great at, we're going to make great music that sounds, that has a message and everything like that, but they don't have somebody who has the vision as far as how to execute it and release it like a RZA had. If they had,
here we can go.
Yeah, if they had somebody with that level of vision, and that's why, like, when they first got to Shady, it seemed like Shady was finally fixing their issue that they've had with artists, right? But then it went the same way that it always went. But I thought that Eminem may have that vision for them that he lacked when he had Slaughterhouse, but it ultimately didn't happen. But I really do think, like, if Griselda got with the right person who had a plan of execution and promotion and whatever with allowing them to still be them, man, they'd be fucking huge, bro. As far as they're huge in hip hop, but mainstream wise, they'll be bigger.
They're huge in hip hop because they remind us of what that ode to hip hop, that gangster hip hop. That's why. But at the end of the day, it's all about what the audience wants, and they still are able to drop these albums like crazy, and they do pretty good numbers. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And again, they're on other artists' album. You got to be popping to be on another artist's album, and people are on their shit. You know what I mean? So they're doing what they need to do to get there. It's just now it comes down to, you're right. If they had somebody who can give them the vision and say, "Here's a plan. Give me 5 years of your life. Let me make this shit happen." You know, that'd be dope. I can see that.
Yeah.
I think Apollo Brown might be the person to do that too.
Paulo Brown is
you listening?
amazing. Yeah. We got to talk one day. We got to make that a topic. Dream producer, and I think we've done it a little bit before, but I think we did more historical, like taking a producer now who's now making music with an artist now and figure out like what the best combinations would be.
You know the crazy thing though, I would love that idea.
Mm-hmm.
Producers aren't as out there like they were before.
Yeah.
Timberland, JD, Dr. Dre, like you knew they had their signature. Mike Will, of course, he has this, Mike Will made everything like that, but
Mm-hmm.
you knew who they were. And they came out with an album, they put things out there, but they were more in the light than they are now. Now they're just behind the scenes. You hear their name. Sometimes you don't even know that signature who produced that particular track. Like I don't know who Griselda's producers are.
Hey, I don't know
I
either.
know some of the
Yeah.
I know some of the beats are dope, but they remind me of Wu-Tang shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And just to kind of throw that out, something, and this may be another left ball one, but I would love, and I mean absolutely fucking love, beef with non-response to Mickey Fax alone, a Royce the 5'9" album produced by J. Cole. I would fucking love that, bro.
wow. Yeah, we got to do this.
Yeah,
We got to do it.
we got to do
We
it.
got to do it.
All right,
Put that on there.
moving on from that. This was a quote and a story that I had to put it on here because we don't often hear. We hear about imposter syndrome a lot more now. It's starting to become one of those buzz terms that people, now that they understand what it means, or they're talking about more and more. But Jack Harlow mentioned how he has serious imposter syndrome, but specifically mentioned it and related it back to why in his music he doesn't call himself or talk about him being a white rapper. And this put me in two different mindsets in hearing and reading him saying that. It brought my respect for him higher a little bit, but it also made me think back to, I wonder if Logic didn't focus so much on being the biracial rapper and including that in his music so much, how much more of appreciation I would have for Logic. Because, yeah, I understand in the first album, maybe even some part of the second album, but Logic's whole career became about the plight of the biracial rapper. So hearing Jack Harlow mention how specifically he does not, and I think I've even said it, maybe it was the last one, like, I've never seen Jack Harlow as a student of the game of hip hop, and I still don't necessarily do from this quote, but it makes me think maybe more of that is there in him than what I thought, because that shows a level of intelligence and self-reflection that a lot of people don't show, to just be able to say, hey, this is why I don't mention me being a white rapper. What do you think about it, Marquis?
I think that's a very interesting statement to make when it comes to imposter syndrome. And I know a lot of people are becoming a lot more familiar. And it's interesting when it recently came up as a topic, and most women suffered from imposter syndrome because they felt they didn't belong in that position because it was dominated by men, and like hip hop is dominated by blacks. So for him to come out and say, I suffer from this, and this is why I don't want you to focus on me being a white rapper. I want to be respected. I do respect the game. But he told you on the shop who was his kind of mentors, or he listened to, because his mom was playing Eminem in the car. Like, this is, don't repeat the words, but this is what it is. So he is a student of the game, and the person he looked up to was a student of the game. And this is why we respect Eminem. And going back to being a white rapper, Eminem never focused on that. He told you, yeah, I'm a white rapper, but get over it.
Yeah.
I'm nice too at the same time. So I do respect that, and we don't hear people speak on those psychological issues. And it goes back to what I told you before, how we don't even address our psychological issues, especially when it comes to artists in hip hop and misogyny, and the way we speak on, just on homosexuality, or being afraid of homosexuals or homophobia. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't even address those issues because we're not used to it. Or when it comes to mental illness and medication and stuff like that. But when you have a white rapper who basically, like you said, reflects on, I don't belong. I don't want to be identified as this, and maybe I don't even belong here. But this is what it is. That's powerful.
Yeah.
I hope other artists, actually sit back and, like, I can be vulnerable, sort of like Kevin Love and DeMar DeRozan. Like, I do have issues I suffer from. Don't judge me. You know what I mean? Like, I can come out and do what I got to do. So that's how I feel about that. But and there's a lot of other points you bring up, but I'd love to hear more from you.
I mean, no, I mean it's refreshing, right? It's always, and I don't mean to jump on like stereotype, but it's refreshing when you have a white person who acknowledges their privilege. Like Jack Harlow,
That was huge.
he knows that just by being a white person in the biggest genre that is hip hop right now, he's going to have a certain fan base that comes in that black rappers don't have, and this is our art, right? And so like I said, it brings me so much more respect to him. And I think also Jack Harlow has a level of artistry there that I don't know if he tapped into on that first album. And I really think like an introspective Jack Harlow album and still keep his flow and whatever. That's something that I would love to hear.
So, two things. DJ Drama brought him out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said it was really hard for him to get signed because he was a white artist.
Yeah.
That's one. Two, the introspective. Here's my problem, and he said it on the shop. He's doing more punch rap than anything else. He said the reason he does that because he can change his flow up, and he's down in Atlanta, spitting like them. And he said, but when I need to get introspective, that's when I start writing. But he sounds like he wants to do more records for the people than he does to give you more of him.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that second album is going to sound like that, unfortunately. I agree with you. And this is, when I remember we discussed this before, I didn't know who he was. But when I heard him, like, yo, his first attempt is a pretty good album. I hope he goes beyond this. I hope we hear more of him versus what he's giving us, what he thinks we want. I think he should give us what we need. But if he gives us that punch rap again, because he has the potential to be a lyricist. Mm-hmm. He has the potential to have that delivery, that introspective. Like he's an intelligent dude, and he respects. He has flow. He has delivery. But if he continues to go down, I'm going to give you these pop joints. He's going to be a Meek Mill.
Okay, that's fair. That's super on point when you really stop and think about it. Because, yeah, I feel where you're coming from with that. Like especially the Meek Mill thing. And Wale to a degree too, right? Wale had to get back to being Wale, like, and Wale even admitted it, like when he signed to MMG, like it was, like, yeah, he changed his style up because he felt like he had to. He had a bigger base, but now you see Wale is like delivering music, and at this point, and it's without fanfare too. Wale drops music and is like, "This is what I have to give you guys," and goes the fuck about his business.
But see, now it's always that R&B song, that mix, the mesh with the hook and everything. I heard his last album. I'm like, I got the same Wale I got the last time, and I got the last time. And he's an intelligent dude. That concept he had for the album About Nothing, the whole Seinfeld concept,
that fucking was phenomenal, bro.
It could have, like, that shows you his intelligence. Like the path he was going, it could have been dope. It's just he said, I got to give you records because I got to make you dance now. And some of his EPs, you can hear it, the pain in some of his EPs. Then he just goes right back to that direction. I'm like, come on, bro. You got so much potential, so much style. Like, you could do so much more than this.
Attention Deficit is a underrated near classic to me. And the fact that
I agree with that.
The fact that we got that and haven't got that same Wale since. I mean, and people have to make the music that they want to make, right? I don't want to project my wants for artists on their music, but at the end of the day, like, listening, because I didn't know who the fuck Wale was when I listened to Attention Deficit at all. Like, hadn't heard about him, nothing at all. And DC is one of my favorite cities. I hadn't heard about Wale, and somebody was listening to it and suggested it to me, and I remember listening to this album, and Attention Deficit dropped 2009. Is that right? So I would have been 22 when that album dropped. And I remember listening to that album. It was the only thing that played in my car for probably 3 weeks, bro. Because that album was fucking phenomenal.
And how I heard about him, he somehow was the performer at, I think, one of the awards shows. I think it was the Oscars or something, or one of those, not an Oscar, one of the Grammys or something like that. He was the artist that performed, that was basically his band or whatever it was, he was the artist that was performing throughout the show, not like on stage, but intermission and
Yeah.
everything. I got to look this up, but that's how I found like, who the fuck is this? Like this dude, he was clever too. He was saying a little sarcastic shit, almost like Chris Rock would say, but he was spitting too. I was like, yo, who is this? So then that's when I found Attention Deficit. I was like, yo, this nigga is nice. And like you said, we ain't heard that since.
Yeah.
So not to jump off that, I do want to bring something back up with Giancarlo. He said something about I think you put it in there about him going to the UK.
Yeah.
And the diversity that he sees here and versus there. Like it's more accepted over there to be, more mainstream or excuse me, to be in interracial relationships versus over here where we're more segregated. And that comes down to us too. First off, the UK blacks, first they're more a lineage of African or island, and they don't identify with black. They look down at us, but they do adopt our hip hop. You get what I'm saying? So that's one area of it. Here, we're just fucking racist. I mean, they're racist too. We were just a lot more Trump about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I get what he's saying, but there's a different type of black folk over there than it is here.
Very
they
much.
look down at
Very
us.
much different. Yeah, they're very much. I lived overseas for about a little bit under half my life now that I'm getting old as shit. But that was where I did most of my growing up. So yeah, it is very different. But I think the thing that we need to also have a conversation on, because one thing he did say in that is how hip hop isn't as popular in the UK, and that's pretty much true. But we need to talk about how many of our artists nowadays steal from UK hip hop, and people don't know it because they don't listen to it. Because there's a lot of that shit.
Yeah, I can name a few band or groups that they took their music from.
Yeah.
Portishead, excuse me, and a few other bands. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
A lot of our shit came from over there, but a lot of their shit they got from us.
And it's weird, right? Because like you can see where they took, of course, things from us or from rappers here. They put their own thing, and it's like one of those things that everything comes back around. That's a beautiful dog. Beautiful dog. Ozzy?
Yeah.
Figured.
Me, Kobe.
But yeah, it's and that's music in general, right? That's not exclusive to hip hop. That's music as a whole in general. And so, like, I think we talked about it one time doing like the hip hop family tree thing, and like we really need to do that, because I think a lot of the influences or artists now have influences that people would have never really considered, and like I said, you can break down all of the late 90s, early 2000s, all back to Cool G Rap, and motherfuckers don't know who the fuck Cool G Rap is.
Word.
So
that's true. And Nas will tell you that he was one of his big bros that inspired him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I got to ask you this before we move into the next topic. I'm just going to throw this to you, because I know you're huge fans of both of these cats. In a battle rap, Eminem, KRS-One, 5 rounds, because I don't think 3 is enough for these cats. 5 rounds. Who you got?
You know what? I would say KRS by 1 only, because KRS does a really good job of dissecting and paying attention to where he is in the battle. I think Eminem would focus more on "I'm going to destroy you," and KRS-One would change up in the middle of everything and outsmart him with one last verse. That's it. But it would be right there. And I watched him do it. And in that battle and verses, he did it. That he knew that, yeah, I got the hits, and Kane changed the format. Now Kane is spitting some shit for the new genre with our production and spitting rapid fire. And he dissected it. He pulled himself back, and then he gave us a freestyle that kind of changed it all. It all focused on him again. It was masterful. I know this because I know both their careers. I know exactly the trajectory they were on. I know where they stand in hip hop, and I know who in whose mind back then Big Daddy Kane was the hot shit, because he had the flow, he was the sexy, he had the girls' attention. KRS-One didn't have any women following. Let's be real, like that wasn't happening. So he had the women's attention, and men are always gonna go towards what women like. But the true hip hop fan, the person who dissects everything, KRS-One was more well rounded. So and he just knows it. Like he when he dissed Shanigan, and I told you he called that song "Still Hugging a Nigga's Nuts," like you Nas backwards. Like yo, he just comes up with shit because that's his DNA. I guarantee you he does nothing more but rap. He can be broke and just rap. That's it. That's all he does, and that's his full time job. Teaching, rapping, battling, whatever. Anything in hip hop, that's what he does, and that's why I think Eminem is a student of the game. KRS is the teacher.
All right, there you go. I like the way you loop that all in. Period. Let's get into this, and this is something that we briefly touched on at one point in time. SHYHEIM on Drink Champs. This was. I honestly thought this was going to be awkward, especially at first. It seemed like Nori was almost kissing ass a little bit too much to me, like because of his previous comments. Like, oh, we know you the kid, and but they got into a place where I was like, fuck, this is a good ass interview, bro. What
Okay.
you weren't as impressed by it?
Okay.
Okay.
So I didn't watch it, and here's no. I didn't watch it yet, and here's why. I know. First
Yeah.
off, I'm glad it happened, though. I am glad it happened. I wonder why it
Yeah.
happened. You get what I'm saying? Like, if he tried to get SHYHEIM on before, and SHYHEIM decided to go there, especially after that IG thing he did, how did that transpire? So I'm intrigued. It's just I know life
You're
happens.
fine.
I had a busy
Yeah.
ass. It was insane. But I am intrigued on why he ended up there and why he decided to say, yes, I'm gonna do this interview. I'm glad I didn't get ignorant. And I know one of the quotes you said there that we wanted you to know that you were invited, even before the dumb shit and everything. But he was always invited. I know he did want him to get him on there. That comment he made before the flunkies thing, what did he say? He's always been giving you flowers. He has been giving him his respect. The Joe Buttons thing, right? When he basically said,
Yeah.
Woo kind of whooped his ass and everything. And the backstory behind
Not
that.
kinda. Let's because I hate it when people try to do this PC shit. Wu-Tang put the paws on Joe Budden. Let's just be clear. There was no kind of whooped his ass. That motherfucker was holding an ice pack to his jaw. Like, they whooped that motherfucker's ass, bro. Still. Don't fuck with the Wu. But go ahead, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was the thing. You still bought the album and Killer. The reason Killer Army and the rest of them lyrically weren't as nice and didn't have the same production. They had mathematics and everything. But you can't. If they were on their own, they wouldn't have got on their own because they weren't the Wu. So it did feel like a Wu affiliate, which people didn't respect as much. You had to be a diehard Wu fan to appreciate that. So I understand what Nori was saying. He shouldn't have said it that way, but that's just Nori's personality.
I think I have figured out what Nori does, bro. And so Nori will big up people first to try to get them on, right? And then he'll say something controversial to them that gets the fan base started, and then they have to come on to address. Like, I truly think that that's what Nori does.
Okay. That sounds fair. I'm here to give you, but he's real about it. It's not like he's going to back down from it either. That's the one thing I do respect about Nori.
Oh, yeah, not at all. Not at all.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's going to say what he's going to say. He's going to do what he needs to do because he wants to keep this thing alive. You know what? Sometimes you have to take a hit to make sure that you get the message out there, because a lot of people give him shit that they wouldn't give anybody else. Like, we've never got the full story from somebody like Cam. Vlad wouldn't have got that. Budden wouldn't have got that. And Beanie. Who else can get?
I still say that Beanie interview. I don't know if just because that's the era that I came up in. That was one of the best hip hop interviews I've ever seen in my life.
The Nas one was cool. The Nas one was more of a setup of future ventures kind of thing. But yeah, the Cam one. The reason I respect it, I didn't expect it to be that. And Cam is candid. That's what I like about Cam. You can't take that away from him. He always comes with, "This is who I am." But you're right. That Beanie, the way Beanie told his truth, man, like the way he just, and the way he processed information. Let me just recollect what happened so I can tell you exactly what happened. You know what I mean? And give you that story. Even the X one. The X was dope too, but you're right. That Beanie one was insane, bro. I imagine.
Bro, listen. Here, right? If Big and Pac was still here, at this point in time, I believe that Nori would have him, Big and Pac in the same room, drinking, and by the end of it, they'd walk out of that motherfucker arms wrapped around each other like, I love you, you crazy motherfucker.
I thought. I think. I
Yeah.
think
No, I mean,
not
I'm
many
not, I'm
would
not
kind of
saying
do
that would have
that.
been the first time it happened. Like, it would have
Right. No. No.
happened from since then, but like, yeah,
But everybody had a good
yeah,
time smoking and drinking with Nori, and that's who Nori is. Like Uncle,
yeah.
or like Nori, we're gonna drink and talk to him. You know what I mean? And it takes somebody who's respected in hip hop to do that. And that's why my
Oh
problem
yeah,
with Lord
that's
Jamar,
yeah.
like you're pro, you're
He
trolling
wasn't
right
he
now. You know
wasn't
what I mean?
even
You're
top
trying to
three in
get
his own
when
crew.
niggas
So
back in the day didn't respect you like
be
that.
clear with that.
Yeah, people didn't respect you like that. So no, but I thought I'm gonna watch the episode. I'm dying to watch this where to actually see it. I just needed the time. Like for something like this, it takes my full attention. Like I can't step back and just
Yeah.
hear it. I want to see facial expressions. I want to see demeanors. And one thing I do respect about Nori and Ethan, when they have people in that room and you can
Mm-hmm.
feel intensity. He says some things and people looking like, yo, this
Mm-hmm.
motherfucker might snap off. Like who you're talking to, but you have to think. Like with Big Tigger and Ghostface, Ghostface is gonna whip his ass. But Nori's not that person that you're gonna say like I'm gonna whoop your ass. Nori's gonna be
Yeah.
like, let's go. Like we here,
Yeah.
but let's respect the show.
Yeah.
He earned that respect from those artists,
Big
and that's
Tig almost
why I
lost his
respect
life,
Nori for that. So,
bro.
oh my
That
god, it's hilarious as shit, yo.
bro, like if you're Ghostface is
Yeah,
still, I don't give like Ghostface got to be what 50 at this point, more. But
probably
to
probably
this day, if I was
50,
in a
52,
room with
53.
Ghostface and I said something and Ghostface looked at me in that manner, I'm leaving, bro. And I'm not a bitch. I'm leaving. Cause Ghostface he'll stab your ass. And then there'll be 50 niggas waiting outside I ain't got time for that shit, bro.
Here's what I know. I met Ghostface once, right? Actually,
Yeah.
I told you my band opened up for him, right? I met him once. He's cool as shit. Ghostface has the demeanor. He's just an angry person. He's like anything can set him off. The reason they aren't as big because of what he did with Hot 97, that whole comment, he was like, yo, fuck Hot 97. And that's what got his airplay cut. But Ghost is that dude who's just an angry dude. And if you push him the wrong way, shit might pop off. He don't care who you are.
Yeah.
You can see that. People who's real about their shit. This is why other artists like Jada and the rest of them respect him. And again, I always go down to this line like, think about the rappers or the artists that these dudes respect. You know what I mean? Like who the people who don't have the same fame credibility. Like Ghost didn't care about Jay. Ghost
Mm-hmm.
respected Nas. You see what I'm saying? Like there's no big no. I respect this, and it takes a lot for you to earn somebody respect like that. And Beanie, when Beanie said when Big Bro told me to calm down, I don't listen to niggas like that, but I listen to him. That tells you how the gravitas of artists like that. You just gotta respect that. So yeah, I'm dying if Ghost would have choked Tigger. And thank God you here. Oh my God,
Oh man. Moving
ask
on.
him.
Moving on. We got 3 new tracks that we need to talk about before we get the fuck up out of here today. First up,
Look who joined
Aminé.
us.
Mary's in the building. Miss Almonte. What's going on? Okay. Well, we appreciate you. We know you've been dealing with some shit.
That's what you do. Out of
Bosses do
curiosity,
boss like things. That's what the fuck happens.
did you see the Nori episode
Yeah.
with
Oh,
Shaheem?
come on now. You know
Yeah.
Mary saw it. What did
Oh,
you think?
then get some insight. Get some insight.
Yeah.
Get some insight. Tell me. I didn't see the whole thing. I didn't see it yet. No, but we were talking about the fact that the respect that was earned why he did that. I was intrigued why he chose to do it. You know what I mean? What your insight? You guys talk about it because
Man,
I'm
I
gonna
said
watch
what
it
I had
anyway.
to say about it. It was a great interview to see. But go ahead, Mary. What were all your thoughts and feelings on it? you.
But yeah, no, I mean, I actually feel like Shaheem's story is actually inspirational. And a lot of people don't really know it. And it's not just a tale of like addiction and perseverance with that, but it also is a tale that a lot of people know of but don't talk about enough. How much pressure it is when you're a child star,
Mm.
right? Like I know he wasn't so mainstream, but in hip hop for the culture, he was one of the only kids doing it at the time that he was. And to really hear the story of that, like again, I know I guess you didn't see the whole thing, Marquise, but his sorry, his mom basically was a fiend, and so he that obviously that kind of put him on a trajectory, but as a result of like not having anyone at home that really was checking for him, that's how he wound up like in the streets and kind of meeting all the people that ended up putting him on, but also sort of led to like his later on like addiction down the road. So I don't know. I really felt like everyone should check that out because it was fire.
Yeah, and finding out that he like, what did he
Yeah,
say? He got signed for the first time at 12 years old. That shit's crazy.
Yeah, he was 9.
Nine, nine. Okay, yeah,
I remember that.
that's crazy, man.
I remember that.
That really was crazy.
Yeah.
The Rugged Child. Actually went back and listened to that album.
All right.
Yeah, and then he also told a really funny story of how when his tape was first played, and I forgot who it was. It was a Wu affiliate, I think, that was like getting their own deal. The record label execs thought that he was a girl.
Yeah, yeah, he did tell this story. It's crazy, crazy.
He was 9 years, like he was young as shit, though. You know.
He hadn't gone through puberty yet.
Yeah,
See, you know what?
yeah.
Yeah, he came out when this was right around Chris
Mm-hmm.
Cross and the youngsters and all that, and Wu had their like, but he had lyrics, he had bars though. That's the thing. It wasn't like he was just we're gonna prop him up and put him on the stage. Like, dude got skills. You know what I'm saying? I'm
All
gonna watch
right.
it. I'm definitely gonna watch it.
He singled with Ghostface. It's called Methadone Music. He also got on the podcast to kind of talk about addiction. So I
You might
think
have to
that's
check that out.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's
Moving
huge.
on. New music. Aminé, Charmander. Mary, did you get a chance to listen to it?
I I'm very sad I didn't get to listen because I'm an Aminé fan. For real.
It's a solid track. Like it's not my favorite track of his or anything like that. But it's for he's been gone for a minute to come back with something like this. The video's dope. The video's dope. So the song is
I
cool.
did say that I'm very sad. Like I was expecting to see him on Insecure, but being that I was hoping to see how bad of it.
uh,
Maybe we'll see him still. I don't know.
you never know. It's the last season. Everybody may come back. Marquis, what did you think about the track?
It's funny. It's funny. I'm finding more and more that everybody is realizing you don't have
Mm,
friends. Motherfuckers want to be alone. Like you don't want to be around the fake shit. And he said something about his like I don't need people's energy around me. Like I need to be on an island because this negative shit I can't take it. And at that age, you figuring that out, that's some real shit. I mean, we're going through that now. We don't need the fake energy. We don't need that nonsense. And I think like Tupac said, what he said, the more friends you have, if you have too many friends, you're lying to yourself. Like no one has that many friends. Those aren't real because everybody wants something from you. You have a few friends that you would consider friends because those are real to you. And I think this generation, I'm starting to hear a lot more about it. Like even my son, he writes shit, and a lot of his is about being alone, being by himself, and just needing time to think, concentrate, and focus because you got to be away from these fake people. That's some real shit. I
yeah.
thought the track was dope.
Yeah, Amini he's one of the artists that have grown on me over time. As I listen to his music more, so I'm excited for like whatever project he drops or whatever. But it's a solid song. That's what I'll say. It's solid. It gets a thumbs up for me.
It it was masked by cute Pokemon, almost Asian Japanese.
Mm,
It was camouflaged, but there was something in it. That's why I was like, this is intriguing. Why am I listening to this shit? Like, I really don't want to go to Japan right now. And then it was like, he was actually spitting. Then he was flowing. I'm like, wait, there's some content here. And then I started listening. So for me, it's really hard for me to pay attention to people's lyrics right away because if I do, I can't focus on the beat anymore. I immediately lose it. I don't even want to hear your shit if your shit is just trash. If you're not saying anything, but he was saying something. I was like, holy shit, this is pretty decent. Like he has a message. The song's about something. So
All right.
I appreciate it.
Next track up we got is Adele, Easy on Me.
So I'm gonna ask a question. Are we only including her because she's fucking Rich Paul? Because normally we don't include, she's fucking a black.
No, I mean,
Black
no,
Flag
I think
Association.
before we reviewed Adele before. I just like Adele's music, so I put her on.
It's the same song 30 times over.
And so
Yeah.
I
It's
have
just in
to
a different
agree,
melody.
I have to agree
Yeah.
with Marquis there. Like,
Yeah.
it's great, yes. There's nothing at all bad to say about it. I mean, vocally, she's amazing. But it is like the same tone and the same subject matter, even. So
You think at this
now
point,
we need to,
You on your
we
third
know Adele
minute.
has a powerful ass voice. We know she can sing. We know she has a beautiful voice at that. But do we want to see her try new things as an artist? Is that what it is? She's going back to the same well too much. So you don't think she has the versatility?
She can't. No. Because number one, she can't control her voice live. So she doesn't have the range for it. And I have to say she's that one trick pony that people identify with that same story. Because you're talking about a nigga from 3 relationships ago. Same story. We're hearing it again. Hey, you know what? Ride it out. Fuck it. I honestly thought this album was going to be a little bit different because now she got that dark meat. It was going to be a little darker. Personally. But hey, what the hell do I know? I'm just a Chi-Town nigga with a Nas flow. What you thinking? Same thing?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
she basically said her points at all. So basically, what we're saying is that until Adele drops an album produced by Scott Storch, we don't want to hear no more shit.
I don't even want that shit. Look, we here for it. It's just, and we expect
Fair enough. Now, I was wondering
an artist,
moving on, an artist from last year that I think album surprised all of us, and Baylor suggested it. Snow Allegra dropped a new song called Neon Peach with Tyler the Creator. Did you guys get to listen to this one? This is the shit. I haven't seen the video.
That's on the album.
Really?
Yeah, that's not an album. That's not a new song.
Well, fuck that. This shit's fucking amazing. It came out in July. Was Tyler Creator on the original though?
Yes. And the crazy.
Nah.
Okay, that's what dropped. Yeah, like I said, she dropped a single for this song, but the album's been out. So the one thing, I love Tyler the Creator. I do. I honestly, I love him as an artist. He's one of those artists I never want to meet though. Like he's that dude that let me just admire you from afar because I appreciate your music. I don't want to meet him. Like it's that. Not weirdness. It's just I don't. Your heroes are close up are. I forgot what the phrase is, but close up. I want to keep it afar. I want to admire your music. I just want to appreciate it from here. I don't want to meet him, but I do appreciate his music.
I mean, yeah. Tyler Creator is a dope ass artist in general. These both are two dope ass artists. Snow Allegra is like, fucking bananas. She's amazing. But yeah, it's crazy you say you wouldn't want to meet Tyler the Creator though. That's okay.
No. I do want to meet. I want to meet the RZA. Especially I want to pick his brain. Like I need to pick his brain. I picked up the book, read the first page. I got it. Raul, based on your recommendation. Here we go, right here. I picked up the first page and got interrupted rudely. I haven't been able to pick it back up, but I'm dying to finish it. Yeah, he's somebody I want to meet. Nas, I want to pick his brain. Like certain people, I want to pick their brain because not just where they are, just to know how they think, how calculated they are. But no, I don't want to meet Tyler. Love your music. I like to meet Pusha T. That'd be fun. How does it feel to take a big ass shit on a nigga? Twice. Exodus and
yeah, like come on, man.
Snip.
Yeah. Bro, I listened to Exodus randomly in the car the other day. Like I don't know what made possess me to put it on, and I'm just like, this motherfucker is a prophet. If you notice, everything he said in that album that would happen to Lil Wayne happened. 8 years later, that motherfucker was a prophet, man. That was a prophecy. That's what that was.
Kill Shot or Story Added On?
Lyrically, Kill Shot, because what he did lyrically in that is so bananas. But as a song, Story Added On.
But how does he not
Because
get his
people
respect
can't
for
see
what he did in
past.
Kill Shot?
People are
I
so
still don't
caught
know.
up with flows nowadays, and I get it. I don't feel like Eminem, that was the best flow for Eminem to go with on that track either. But when you break it down and look at the lyricism and what he was talking about in it, it was dope.
Eminem spit 8
You're right,
different
and I
flows on
didn't
that
agree with
song.
any of them on that track.
8. Like,
The flows, I did not, and this is coming. You know, I'm a big Eminem fan like you. I'm a Eminem apologist, but the flows on Kill Shot to me just, let me not say they weren't bad, right? Let me not, they didn't match with the veracity of what he was saying. That shit was vicious, but he said it in such a laid back manner that I think people missed it, because it's like you're coming at this motherfucker's neck, but you're chilling. Like, did you even stand up when you rap these bars?
no, and that's the thing. It's more like you aren't even worth it. See, here's why. And if I didn't study music the way I did and tones and everything, the way if you didn't even hear his lyrics and you just played the music, because it was a really simple piano and the way it was going was the way it was fun. And if he had a reference track and you listen to it, it would sound fucking beautiful. It was music. The way he spit that song, like if you don't listen to the lyrics, you don't listen to the point of it. He basically is speaking in a way around this track, and he's dancing around it so well. It's fucking beautiful. That's why it's a magnificent flow. But then when you listen to the lyrics, like how boring you are to me. I had to wake up late every day to this. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's basically telling you that's why
You
I'm
should be
slowing down
honored by
now.
my
You're not even
lateness.
worth it.
Is
I ain't
basically
gonna
what he
switch
said on the
track.
track.
Like, seriously. He pulled a Lauryn Hill. Word.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
So
We
yeah.
just completely
So
hijacked that. I don't even
like,
remember.
my bad. But Story Added On.
Yeah.
Yeah, I Story Added On was just, I
Listen,
didn't expect
I
that from
expected
Pusha.
Pusha
I
to
didn't.
have a dope diss track, but I was on the drive to St. Louis when that dropped. Like, literally, I was a 6-hour drive. And I remember I had been arguing with people on Twitter about like the whole beef or whatever. They're like, "Push, it's over for Push," and I'm just like, just wait for what he does. And somebody DM me and they were like, "Well, how do you feel now that you were proven right and that Pusha just killed Drake?" And I was like, "What happened? He dropped it?" Because I was on the road, so I didn't know. Boy, when I pushed play on that shit, listen here. I damn near had to pull over on the side of the road, bro, because I had to get these tweets off afterwards. That's how I felt, because that was a moment of the culture I will never forget. Never.
I myself felt flashbacks of the first time I
I
heard
knew you were gonna go there.
Ether. Oh my god! I was like, I'm so proud of you, Pusha. I'm so proud. It was amazing. You're right. Lyrically, it wasn't masterful
Yeah.
or creative, but he went straight for the jugular. That's the difference. There was no need to just spit line for line and
Yeah,
metaphor.
let me get this
You know I'm
off.
going for you.
And then
There's
the
nothing you can do
fact
about
that
it.
he ended it with that it was going to be a surgical summer and that we didn't get the rest of that, because if that was the first step in what he had planned in case Drake responded, just imagine what the rest of the tracks would have been like.
I need to know who else knows about the surgical summer, because I need to know that surgical summer. Oh my
Oh
god!
man.
Please, Drake, please
Yeah,
just say
listen.
one more thing, so we can make it a really, really cold winter. I just need a really, really cold winter.
All right, moving on.
I'm
Let's get
sorry about
Mary
that.
back in here. Before we end today, because we're not gonna go over everything just because we don't have the full crew, and we're gonna save Wu-Tang since it's the season finale anyway. Insecure, the premiere of Insecure. Has anybody taken more L's in life than Lawrence? Yeah, come on. I hate when people try to. No, he had because he had sex with his girlfriend at the time unprotected. Come on.
I mean, but then he's expecting Issa to ride out with that? Like, come on.
I mean, yeah.
Like there aren't single dads.
Exactly. Yeah, that was annoying. She
That's true.
yeah. I mean, writing wise, it makes sense because you know that's what everybody is waiting for. That you want to like hang on to it as long as you can. I could see halfway through the episode giving it to us, but the whole fucking episode, come on, man. That was a troll job. Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Oh my god. Two things. They should do what the Wu does and drop 3 episodes because every insecure
It's never. Hey, I
episode
was
is
gonna say
really
that
never
too.
good.
Can't think
Exactly.
of
It's
a
always a
premiere of
setup.
Insecure that I love the premiere of. But go ahead, Marky.
It's always a setup. They should do the insecure thing. If you motherfuckers are really picking a fight for this is what's wrong with us. We can't focus on what we're doing politically. We can't focus on things that actually matter and what's going on with the country. But we can focus on why she's perpetrating the wrong chapter. All right. This is like the dude who had a problem with the dude on Power. Like, nigga, you sold, you know what I mean? Like, on an elevator. I didn't even watch Power at the time, but I know this dude was mad at his character because something happened in the episode and he
Mm-hmm.
flipped out in an elevator. Like, come on, bro. You're gonna be mad at this shit and this other shit you should be mad at? Like, my stocks are low because you motherfuckers want Trump stock to grow because of his social media. That's what you should be mad at. I'm sorry, I took a loss on that one, but you know. Get mad at the right things. If that shit ain't making you money, what you mad at?
Now Issa has teased.
And somebody signed off on that. Oh, somebody signed off on that for them to do that, though. Think about that. Portrayed the character. Yeah, well, you know.
Issa has been teased a few times at an Insecure spinoff. Nothing firm or anything like that. If you had to pick one Insecure character to get a spinoff, who is it going to be? I mean, that's the easy answer, though.
Yeah. You asked.
Yeah, true, true. Do you think she can
Just for
carry a
real.
show though, or it depend on how they fill out the rest of the cast? Okay.
That's what it is.
Because
The
my
rest of the
thing is
cast.
that Kelly
Absolutely.
is reactionary funny, but like I think that
Like Joe
that
Budden.
would wear thin if she's just the focus of a show. Like I can see maybe one season of a Kelly show, but like if you have multiple seasons planned, I just don't see that working. Yeah. Mm, okay.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Lawrence, though. I am Team Lawrence. Yeah, nigga, wrap it up. Like, I agree with that. You having threesomes with white chicks you just met. And yeah, wrap that shit up, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah. She did. She did. Yeah.
Motivation is a bitch. You know, you get motivation from places where, you know. She's probably gonna miscarry or something. There is there has to be a climatic something happen where they're gonna get married. Issa and they're gonna find a way back to each other. They're setting up for that. I told you that a long time ago.
It has to end that way. What? And let me not say because they've thrown lefts before with Insecure, and so Issa's very smart. So maybe she doesn't end it the way that a traditional show would end, and something happens differently. So yeah, yeah. I mean, that's not always the way mental health works, though. But yeah, I mean,
it's a lot to deal with.
That is the problematic part. That I can understand.
Schizophrenia or bipolar disorder. That is, yeah, it's not right. It's not right. I'm not excusing it. You do have to. If you have somebody you care about, you gotta let niggas know. So I agree with that.
All right, but that's it. That's another episode of The Breaks Radio. Mary, go give me social media. Let's get the hell up out of here. All right, and you can follow. Oh no, go ahead, Marquis. I know you don't like giving your social media, so pardon jokes, dad jokes, whatever.
Oh, it's just M
and them. You've changed it again. God damn it,
M
bro.
and them. M and them.
You can follow me at CEO Hayes. You can follow us collectively at The Breaks Radio. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, thebreaksradio@gmail.com. We are the number one podcast for the culture, and this week we out this bitch. Peace.
Be great.